The first time I ever wondered whether I were gay, and I say those in quotes because I really don't like the term and I don't apply it to myself, was when I was 15 or 16. There's a lot of messages in society. If you have any kind of attraction or feeling toward other people of your same gender, then you're gay or you're homosexual. And I latched onto that. As I fully adopted the idea that I were gay, or at least same-sex attracted, I didn't really feel like one of the men. I felt like a little boy in a big person's body. I didn't have very many close friends, and I think it's very natural for boys to want friendship with other boys. I had a lot of yearning for friendship. Most people think that it's an identity and that it's not changeable.
Stephen and I had known each other in high school. During our engagement period, I would say that it wasn't like other engagements, that he did kind of hold himself back a little bit. He was not as touchy-feely as other guys that I had known. And that concerned me a little bit. I was afraid that he wouldn't be interested in me when we got married, but he reassured me that we would be fine. We got married and things went pretty well for a while. I don't remember exactly when he started telling me that he was experiencing attractions towards other men, but he would tell me when they would pop up and that they were bothering him. I thought that meant he was leaving, because the popular narrative is that once they start identifying as gay, that shortly after that they'll leave you.
My wife, she was afraid I was going to leave her. People tell my wife, well, you're so horrible for forcing your husband to live a heterosexual lifestyle. It's like, she's not forcing me. My wife didn't want to force me into anything I didn't want.
I offered for him to live somewhere else if he wanted to, or if he wanted to have a different room from me so that we didn't have to do anything sexual, me and him, if he didn't want to. But if he could please stay married so that we could take care of our children, even if he wanted to live a different lifestyle.
I just told her, well, I want you. I want our family. I just want to live in a healthy way. And because I got therapy, I was able to live in a healthy way. I almost didn't go to a therapist because I thought, well, the popular narrative is you can't do anything to change it, you just have to live with it.
I thought it was the beginning of the end. And it was really hard too when he would tell me that, no, I'm not leaving you, and that to believe him. It was really hard to believe him because of what you hear, of all of the stories that you can read. Because most of the stories that you read are of men leaving their families. It's not of men staying. So I was terrified.
I remember as a kid being really sensitive and laughing really easily and crying really easily, but just being very happy and responsive to my emotions. But I had cut myself off from them because of the trauma I had been through, and I didn't know how to address it. I just shoved my feelings just really deep down. People think when we talk about, oh, well, you went to a therapist to get help with same-sex attraction, he must have told you to shut down your feelings and cut yourself off from people. That's the opposite of what he did. He helped me reconnect with my feelings because I'd been just shutting myself off for so many years. My therapist helped me learn appropriate boundaries, just learning to understand my emotions, learning to realize that each emotion has something to tell me, and that if I respond appropriately rather than shoving it inside or just expressing it on top of everybody else, that I actually feel a lot better. I'm a lot more confident, and I don't have a sexualization of normal feelings. The same gender attraction resolves on its own for me when I'm feeling more confident, when I have my proper boundaries, when I'm properly understanding and responding to what my emotions are telling me. That was just so healing. To be able to realize that what I had thought was this homosexual thing, this gay identity, wasn't that at all. It was me feeling deep needs that weren't being filled. People think that conversion therapy, or therapy for people with same-sex attraction, is the thing where the therapist is trying to help you stop your attractions or punish you for your attractions. And that's not it at all. You think about what you've been labeling as attractions in different ways. You realize, oh, these things that I've been afraid of, that I've been calling attractions, they're desires for friendship. They're desires for connection with other people. And since I had cut myself off, especially from connection with other men, that desire for friendship and desire for connection had become sexualized because I was denying myself a true need.
I started seeing little differences. He started being more romantic with me. Things in the bedroom got better. Now he does those little things that make me feel like I'm special and I'm important to him. I've seen that change in him, that he is more affectionate towards me than he was before. And I've seen it with our children, that he's able to be more engaged with them, his interactions with others, that he's able to hold a conversation on his own. He's not just feeling lost in the conversation and quiet. He's actually more outgoing than he used to be.
I think the name conversion therapy is really more of a label that people give it to make people think that it's this horrible thing, when it's just normal therapy. All therapy is reparative in nature. That's the reason you go to therapy, is because you want to change how you feel. And you want to live your life in a better way. So all therapy has the goal of change. It's really, really frustrating to me that there's so much focus on this as an identity, that people who want help, that don't want to experience it anymore, or that at least want to manage it in a different way, that they can't find that help very easily. And therapists are afraid of giving that help, even though there's documented evidence that people do benefit from the therapy. There will be lots of people who won't be able to find the help they need, and that families will be torn apart. And it's not fair to the children. It's not fair to the spouse. And it's not fair to the individual, because all of us have a right to self-determine. And we have a right to be able to ask for professional help to help us determine how we will live and be able to live in a healthy way. I get a lot of backlash whenever I say change is possible or I've experienced change. The activism pushing that idea that it's an identity and it can't be changed is so strong that people who try to say that they've experienced change are shouted down.
I would ask that lawmakers consider all sides of the story and not just listen to the popular narrative, that they would listen to the voices of those who are in the minority maybe, or maybe they're the majority. We don't really know because they're afraid to speak up. But the ones that do speak up, take them seriously.
It's really important that lawmakers consider that they may not be hearing all of the stories, that they may not be hearing all of the experiences